Welcome to a special edition of Inside the Hashes podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Roberts. Today I'm joined by a class of 2019 three-star offensive line recruit, Notre Dame commit Andrew Kristofic. Andrew, how's everything been going for you?
Things have been great lately. Enjoying kind of the end of school year, kind of getting into summertime as far as summer workouts and everything. So it's all been good.
When's your last day of school? Are you almost done here?
We finished up this past Thursday, like 31st.
Great. And have you gotten into football workouts already, or they give you a little break before that?
So the week, like kind of the week prior to the school ending, we had like our 1 week spring mini camp, which is basically just like the 5 practices, like and just helmets. So it's basically just like a normal practice week, just in helmets. That's it. And then they give us off for like the first week of summer, like slash last week of school. So Monday morning starts our summer workout.
And let's just get into kind of your career so far. Obviously, Pine Richland, and your senior year is coming up very quickly. Can you just highlight some of your best moments, accomplishments so far, your proudest moments?
I was fortunate enough to play on the varsity the freshman year for basketball. So we won 2 Whitfield championships back to back my freshman and sophomore year, and with the state runner up my sophomore year in that, and followed up my junior year with kind of a 16-0 undefeated season for football, and Whitfield state championship there too, and then junior year basketball followed it up with Whitfield runner up, and then another deep playoff run. So the last 3 years have gone a lot of postseason time for both sports. So it's been kind of a fun journey through those 2 sports up to this point so far.
Mm-hmm. And were you looking to pursue basketball in college too, or were you going to kind of retire yourself after the season, after your last season?
No, I mean I kind of knew, always knew that once high school was over, I was going to be done playing basketball. I'm a 6'6" center and forward, and Division One basketball programs look for guys that have quite a few more inches than I do for those positions. So I knew that the basketball wasn't really going to be the sport I played in college.
Sure. So I saw you had 28 reported offers. Clemson, Ohio State came to the table pretty late before your decision. Why did you end up picking Notre Dame over the other schools that kind of came after you late?
Yeah, so I mean, Ohio State wasn't really as late. They were actually before Notre Dame, and then Clemson was kind of towards the later end. So, but yeah, I mean, I visited a whole bunch of different places. The places included, made multiple visits to a couple different schools, and for a lot of different reasons, I felt like Notre Dame was the best school for me, and I definitely took my time and felt like I did everything I could to gather all the information I needed to make the best decision possible for myself, and I couldn't be more happy with my decision to commit to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. And for the viewers listening who haven't been able to see you play yet, can you kind of just describe yourself as a player, some of your biggest strengths?
So I feel like my biggest strength is just my athleticism. Like you just talked about, like I'm a big basketball player too, and I've played basketball and other sports all my life, and really, so this will be going into my 3rd year playing offensive line. So while it's still a newer position, I've kind of really leaned on my athleticism, just athletic ability. In many ways, where I lack in some of the offensive line experience and technique that I'm still learning and everything. And on top of just, personally, I like to try and dominate in everything I do, whether it's sports or not. I'm very competitive, and carrying that over to try and really just dominate as much as possible on the field. I feel like helps me with big thing is we preach at our school is finishing the play, finishing the block, and that's what I really pride myself on.
And obviously, like you said, you bring competitiveness to every sport you play in. Is there any other specifically from maybe like a footwork standpoint that basketball has actually helped you improve as an offensive lineman?
Yeah, I mean, basketball is all athleticism. It's all running, jumping, uh, quick feet. I mean, if you really think about it, guarding on defense in basketball, too much pass protecting
Hmm.
without your hands. So there's a lot of different ways just staying athletic and being athletic, and all the footwork and all the quick twitch muscle movements and stuff that come with basketball. I feel like really can help you in football too.
Hmm. Of course. And so I mean, if we're talking just about from a Notre Dame perspective, obviously they've had a ton of success the last couple years, churning out NFL talent. We talk about Mike McGlinchey and Quentin Nelson this year. How have seeing those guys kind of progress through the program? How much of a selling point was that for you?
I mean, that's definitely something you take into consideration. I mean, it's everyone's goal and dream to be able to be good enough and to move on to the next level and play at the NFL. And at a school like Notre Dame, that's known for the offensive line tradition and really the players that are able to produce. I mean,
Hmm.
with Coach Kelly, I know I saw some stat the other day that he's had every year since he's been at Notre Dame, a first round left tackle start every game for him. So
Yeah.
that in itself just kind of speaks to the players that they've been able to produce over the last few years. So, I mean, seeing guys like Mike McGlinchey and then Quentin Nelson this past year, how dominant they were able to be, and then that translates to high draft pick. It was pretty cool. On my first visit to Notre Dame, I got the chance to meet Mike and came out to lunch with us. Some of the coaches on our first visit there, and he kind of was a really cool guy. Kind of just talked through a whole bunch of things that he was going through at the same point, and then his experiences at Notre Dame, and then even getting ready for the NFL. I know, like the day we went out to lunch together that morning, he had an NFL team uh, there working him out. So for him to be able to take the time to still come to lunch with us and talk with us was really impressive to show just the type of person he is too. That goes far beyond just the football player he is.
Hmm. And how much conversation have you kind of had with some current players, maybe like Alex Bars or Sam Mustipher during the process?
It's been good. I've talked to a whole bunch of guys, and I mean, there's a bunch of Western PA guys that are at Notre Dame right now. Guys like Joshua, I've talked a lot to just about his decision and his decision to come to Notre Dame and everything, and then there's other defensive guys that I've played against that are at Notre Dame now, like Kurt Heinisch and David Adams. So
Hmm.
I've run into them on my couple visits there, and it's just really cool to see the success that they've had. Coming from the same places that I'm from now, and then doing so well for themselves there in South Bend.
And growing up playing football, have you always been an offensive lineman, or was there other positions you played at points?
So the first time I played offensive line, so halfway through the ninth grade season, on the ninth grade football team, we had an injury after one of the kids, and at the time I was just playing defensive end, and our coaches were like, "Hey, like we need you to come play offense too." This kid just got hurt, and we don't have anyone else that we can throw in there. So I was like, "Sure." I I've always been willing to do whatever to get on the field. I just really wanted to play. Uh, so I mean, all growing up, all through youth league and all through middle school, I was a quarterback, and then once I got to ninth grade, I kind of really focused on defensive end. I thought maybe that would be the position for me that I was going to go play in college, but
Hmm.
you know, toward about halfway through the year, whenever they put me in at offensive line, it was for me, someone that's never played in a position before. They were kind of like, "Hey, you hit someone every play like you do on defense, but you know where the ball is going." So that was a big bonus too. So I really just really started playing the position, and really got kind of grew. We have a great coaching staff that help transition because at the time that everything that's kind of unfolded since the position changed, the switch up has happened wasn't that wasn't really in the picture. It was just more kind of a need, and then like, hey, like why don't we keep these here? So it's all worked itself out better than I really thought it ever could have.
Definitely. So for the 2019 class, just you've also added John Olmstead, Quinn Carroll, along with yourself on the offensive line recruits. How often do you guys communicate as an offensive line group?
We communicated pretty often. I know, kind of as a whole 2019 class of all the committed guys, we have group messages and talk back and forth and pretty regularly. And
Hmm.
then offensive line wise, John, Flynn, and I talk back and forth uh, on a pretty regular basis. So it's been nice. It's been pretty cool getting to know those guys, and just really getting closer with those two guys. Cause, those are going to be the guys that come in together with, and you're really tight with from the beginning all through our time there. So uh, just really excited about the group of guys that we have right now.
And I mean, obviously, you guys are off to a great start recruiting for your class. Are there any other players in the country still out there that you guys might be pushing for hard to try to get to come aboard?
Absolutely. I mean, we're off to a great start, and our coaches are really happy with the class up to this point. But there's still definitely some guys out there that I know they want to get. So, and
Mhm.
the job's not done. I mean, we are off to a great start, but until signing day and until all those spots are filled up, there's always the next great guy to get the jump on board with us.
Hmm. And obviously, Phil Dracovic, teammate of yours, notable 2018 recruit for quarterback. Can you kind of just describe Phil as a player and how helpful has he been to you during this recruiting process?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the best way to describe Phil is just a fierce competitor. I mean, in everything that he does, whether it's on the field, off the field, just training, I mean, he brings a competitive edge like really no one else I know, and I think that's really what pushes him to be so the great player that he is. I mean, he wants to dominate in every way, every time he steps out there, and wants to be the best and strives to perfection and everything, which I think has made him into the great player he is now, and will continue to help him become an even better player and even greater player for Notre Dame and whatever ends up happening afterward for him because of that just fierce competitive nature that he has.
And obviously, going into your senior year, how much have you seen yourself evolve as a leader going into your last season? And do you kind of think that do you think that the guys that you've seen be leaders on this past team had a big part in that?
Yeah, so I mean, we've had great groups of guys come through the last few years, and so it's been awesome because I've got to play alongside with a lot of great kids and a lot of great friends of mine. So now that I'm the senior, I'm the senior class now. That it's definitely a big transition, even though last year, even the year before, kind of looked as a leader before, but now match that kind of leadership role. You're also the senior, so it's also your last year. Kind of everything's that much more intensely because everything's your last time. So it's been good. I mean, it definitely as someone that I've been fortunate enough to play for multiple years. It's always kind of been I always kind of appreciate it. So it's no longer like that. So there's definitely that kind of intensity and urgency that been added to everything that we and I've been doing, preparing for the last year. So that's been definitely been fun and hopefully will be very rewarding. And then again, just being like the guy that so many of the young guys have been able to look up to has been fun. It's something I remember when I was in their position, looking up to guys and them helping me out so much. So trying to just give the same back that so many of my great teammates did and helped me. So,
And I mean, obviously, last year you guys had an amazing season as a team. Won the state championship. What are kind of some goals you have for this season? They could be individual, they could be team goals.
I mean, my individual goals will always remain the same. That's to be the best I can possibly be in, compete, and just try to dominate in everything that I do. And then I mean, goals are always the same. First step, one section. Second step, one left field. And third step, one state. And last year, we were able to do all three of those things. And we certainly lose a ton of great players and a great teammates and leaders and everything. But we definitely have a great core of guys at this year. And what? Then to match out a lot of positions to still be filled with hungry guys that are eager to get their turn. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this year plays out.
And last question for you. For all the Notre Dame fans that are listening, what kind of person are they getting in Andrew Kristofic? What can they expect from you when you make it to South Bend?
I'd say just a fierce competitor. I mean, I want to be the best at everything I do. We've had tremendous success in high school, and as something as a big motivating thing for me is to continue having that success. The most rewarding experiences are always the next ones to come. So you never fall into complacency, but striving just to be the best and to always be that part of that team or that group that the next group of guys always looks up and always wants to be like, and just dominate everything that we do, whether it's on the football field or off. Just be the absolute best to be.
Great. With that, this is going to finish up my interview with 2019 Notre Dame offensive lineman commit Andrew Kristofic. Andrew, again, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. It was great just being able to talk football with you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I would also like to thank all the listeners for tuning in for this special episode. Please join me and the rest of the crew for the next edition of Inside the Hashes.